So we braved out into the wilderness of the coronavirus so we could go see the new Pixar animated film Onward, and it's pretty great. Honestly, Pixar has been a little less than stellar here recently, with Inside Out probably being their last good film. But I mean, you're not going to walk into a Pixar film and see bad animation, and Onward is no different. The animation in Onward is great. The world design and the character design is amazing, and honestly, it let the animators kind of play around with that world and create a lot of humorous moments throughout the entire film. This film definitely feels familiar if you've watched a lot of Pixar films. This kind of road trip movie, there's a lot of the same beats that a lot of Pixar films have, but this film is so rich with character development, interesting character designs, and a great sense of humor that it really felt unique and original and fresh. And I think a lot of that tends to the fantasy element that this film also has. There's a lot of great things and throwbacks to things like D&D thrown throughout this film that really kind of makes this one stand out as opposed to some of the other Pixar films. Me personally, I really love this film. I thought it was great. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt do amazing jobs with their voice performances. There's a lot of great visual moments throughout the entire film, and honestly, it's a film that handles a lot of tonal shifts really well. There's a lot of great moments of humor. There's some really heartbreaking moments. There's some really heartwarming moments, and none of it really feels manipulated. It honestly feels earned in this film. And honestly, it's a film that kind of reminds me what I loved about Pixar growing up and kind of the golden age of Pixar. It feels like something that could have came out in the early 2000s and be considered a Pixar classic. I personally really loved Onward. I think it's one of the best Pixar films of here recent. Now, one of the best things about going to see a Pixar movie is getting a nice little short film before the film, and this was a complete wasted slot, thanks to The Simpsons. Simpsons is a show I grew up with very fondly, and I know here recently it's gotten bad, but this was basically an advertisement for Disney saying, hey look, we own The Simpsons now. It's called Playdate with Destiny, and it was probably one of the worst short films to accompany a Pixar movie, except for maybe the Frozen short film with Coco, but it's still really bad. The animation's not bad, and it feels like Simpsons animation, but the story's kind of dumb. It's not funny. There's no humor into it, and honestly, it felt like a complete waste of 5 minutes. When I go see a Pixar movie, I would kind of like to see an original Pixar short. There's been some really, really great ones, and this is probably one of the worst ones.